This is honestly one of the hardest videos I have had to make because my multiplayer experience will be different from yours. Yours might be better or worse depending on how you play the game and who you get matched up against. But I think there are some things we can agree on and some that we'll disagree on. With all that being said, let's talk about Modern Warfare 2 2022. I know these videos are called 10-hour impressions, but I wanted to put in a good amount of time into both the multiplayer, the campaign, and Spec Ops. So I put in about 30 hours-ish, 30 to 40 hours into Modern Warfare 2. I put in around 10 or so hours into the campaign, and I put in about 20 to 30 hours into the multiplayer and a little bit of time into Spec Ops. And for this video, I kind of want to try something new, a little bit of a new format. So I'm dividing this video into 3 sections: the bad, the questionable, and the good. So let's start with the bad. I'm just going to list them out real quick. The UX and UI design in the menus, certain maps in multiplayer, and the unlock system currently. There are also things that can't really be controlled as much within the game because of the peer-to-peer connection. I've run into a good amount of lag spikes and micro stutters while playing the multiplayer that have frustrated the hell out of me at times. I've also run into a bunch of crashes when I was playing the story mode, which I don't know if it's my hardware or if it's because it was during the early access, but they happen. It didn't take away from the story, but it was a bit of an annoyance. The user experience or user interface design in most of the menus it's a bit messy and it's kind of hard to read sometimes, but it's especially bad in the social menu because the hub tab is kind of pointless, only having which one of two of your friends and then people you met in your last game is kind of crap and it's kind of dumb, and using the showcase tab would have been a better solution as the main tab. And that's because it's more organized, especially if you have a lot of friends that are playing the game and you want to invite certain ones into a lobby because it is organized in alphabetical order. And that's probably the main problem with the UI is it's messy. I don't want to spend a lot of time on UI stuff because I'm not a great UI designer, but I believe that if they'd kept it a bit simpler like they used to, where it is just a list of your loadout and a list of your classes and a list per attachment, I think it would have been better. That's just my opinion. And this next stuff is gonna be a very subjective part of the video. There are bad maps. There are always a bad map or two within Call of Duty. It's just normal. And I think Santa Senna border crossing is by far the worst map in the game. Having basically every car be able to explode right off the bat is horrible, because it encourages spawn nading and can easily cause a chain reaction of explosions that can wipe a whole team off right away. And it's an uneven start because one team has a large area to spread out and push forward, while the other is very confined and basically forced into the cars that can be naded. Also, the unevenness of non-destructible cover like buses and semis is just not great because you can just be shot from anywhere if you're spawning on one side of the map. That's my main issues with this map in particular. I genuinely like most of the other maps, but this one map I just don't want to play. I have an idea to go along with what I was saying of how this map could be reworked, in my opinion, to make it better. And I think that might be a good idea for a standalone video. So if this video gets to, let's say, 20 likes, I'll make that video and probably put it out maybe next week or the week after. The other thing about this game that I don't like is the unlocking systems. Yeah, the platform system is fine and kind of interesting, but the attachment unlock system is kind of dumb. Being forced to use another gun to unlock a certain attachment for a different gun that is a completely different platform that you just want to use is dumb. I don't like the system because of that. I like the system before where you would play with a specific gun to unlock attachments for that gun. If it was unlocking those attachments for a specific platform, like the M4 unlocks those attachments for the Icarus or the M16, like all of its variants, then I'd be fine with that. But to unlock stuff for like the pistols, I have to use the MP5 because they're both 9mm. I honestly find that kind of dumb. I think those are the worst parts of the game for me. Now, let's talk about the stuff that's not horrible, but it's also not very good. Or it was taken out and I'm wondering why. Why are there no challenges other than camos, dailies, and operators? Before, you had this whole list of challenges that you could try for to help you level up and to unlock new emblems or calling cards that they would help keep the game interesting. Now the only thing that's supposed to keep you coming back are the dailies and the battle pass. But when you're done with the battle pass, is there even a reason to keep playing anymore until the next season? Because like I said, there are no calling cards or emblems or skins to earn from challenges anymore. So what's the point of playing once you're done with the battle pass? Or if you don't buy the battle pass, what's the point in playing anymore? And to go along with that, the speed at which you level up is kind of slow and kind of tedious. I purposely tried to push through and get to level 55 just to see if there was a prestige system in the game again, but there isn't, which still also begs the question of what, other than the battle pass, is going to keep pulling someone like myself or other people back into the game after you have completed the battle pass. Like, what objectives are there for me to do? It's like, okay, I can play multiplayer after I've completed, like, let's say I complete all the camos, I unlock every single camo for every single gun, and I get tired of playing like Warzone or DMZ or doing all the same regular multiplayer stuff, and I get through like the spec up stuff that they've launched for the season. What is going to bring me back? There's nothing like I can work towards after completing the battle pass and completing all the camos and operators and stuff. I feel like the game could, I don't want to say it'll die out, but I don't think there's anything to really keep bringing people back, especially for like the next year until the new one releases. Okay, I know I've been negative and kind of questioning some of the choices of the developers, but in this game, there are also a lot of good parts. You have the story, the gunplay, and most of the maps are actually really good. At least I think they are. Let's talk about the story first. I really liked what they did with the story. Enough of the core concepts from the original Modern Warfare 2 are there, but they're changed enough that you don't always see them coming until they're happening. It's not that they're shocking like Shepard's betrayal in the original Modern Warfare 2, but they're done in such a way that it's so different and interesting from the original that it makes them feel like really good changes. Overall, I love the campaign, and I thought it was an excellently told story with excellent gunplay, even if I did crash a lot during the early access period. Speaking of the gunplay, it feels really good. Each of the guns, even though they are somewhat clunky at times, they feel kind of beefy. Like there's actual weight to them, and like they hit hard most of the time. And each of the guns feels really good to play with, and it feels like you can hold your own with each of the guns if you're in that specific range for them. And the gunplay should be really good because it is kind of a staple of Call of Duty, and they've been doing it for long enough that, you know, they should kind of have it down pat a little bit. And I really enjoy just going through the variety of guns and just trying all of them once I get them unlocked through the platform system. And just like I enjoy a lot of the guns, I do really enjoy a lot of the maps. If I had to pick favorites, I would say Farm 18, Mercado, and El Asilo are probably like my top 3 for this game. The rest of the maps, except for Border Crossing, aren't bad. I like the design and layout of each of them and how differently they work from each other. I haven't played too much of Invasion or Ground War to kind of get a feel for those maps, but I know they are based around like the smaller maps because I've seen Mercado in there, I've seen the Border Crossing map in there. It's a very good variety of map. I would like there to be more. I would have liked for them to bring back and remaster for launch all of the original Modern Warfare 2 map, but maybe that's asking a little too much. Maybe. It just would be nice. But at the end of the day, just like every other Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2 has some problems, but I think it has one of the best gameplay loops in the series, at least from the past probably 5 years. The mechanics are really solid. The gunplay, it feels great. The story is intriguing, and the multiplayer's gameplay loop is fun, but it can also be very frustrating at times. And that's my first impression of Modern Warfare 2 done. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and maybe check out my other 10-hour impressions videos that are in this playlist, or maybe check out my first art video on digital painting that I've done.